get started. So you're gonna sit in a cross-legged position. And then we're just gonna gently close our eyes. And just start to bring some more awareness into your breath. Just maybe even feeling the physical sensations of the breath. And then also get you to bring your hands to your belly and just physically feel then that rise and fall of the belly. We're going to place one hand onto the side, so we'll start on the right side. Right hand onto the mat. And then I'll get you to place your hand onto your left rib cage. You're just going to lean over to the right side, and now I want you to focus your breath onto the left side of the body. So placing the hand just on the rib cage just gives you a bit of that tactile cue. If you want, you can leave your hand there, or you can start to take the left arm overhead and reaching over to the right side. Again, continuing that focus on the left side breathing. Inhale, we'll come back to center. We'll take the left hand onto the left side onto the mat. Okay, we're going to place our right hand onto the right rib cage and just leaning over to the left side. Again, focusing now onto that right side. So feeling that expansion through the whole right side of the body. Just slowly seeing if you can find a little bit of a deeper breath with each inhale and exhale. And if you'd like, you can start to take the right arm overhead. And inhale back to center. Okay, we can slowly start to open our eyes. And then we're going to come into child's pose. So you'll come flip over onto the mat. Child's pose, you can either take your knees wide or close together, whatever you're comfortable with. And then we're going to now focus on a bit of that back breath. So we're kind of working through three-dimensionally through the whole kind of torso, thinking about that breath throughout the entire torso. As opposed to just front body, side body, we really want to engage and kind of be mindful so that as we move through our practice, we keep that in mind with different focuses. So take your arms about shoulder width apart. Good, sink the sit bones down. You can rest the forehead onto the mat. You can use a block here if you need to. And then really now start to focus that breath into that low back, and then traveling all the way up into the shoulder blades. We'll take one more breath. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands about 12 inches or so from the knees. So from here, we're just gonna do a little bit more opening through that mid-back, so getting into thoracic spine. So first I want you to take your left hand and you're gonna press it into the mat. We'll take our right hand behind the neck and we're gonna inhale, rotate, open. Take your eyes even as far over as you can into that rotation, and then slowly come back across the mat to tap over to the other side. Inhale, open up. Take your time, don't rush. And exhale, tap to the other side. Good, I want you to do this 2 more times, just at your own pace. Good, we'll take it to the other side. So right hand onto the mat, left hand behind the neck. Inhale, open up. And exhale, come across the body. Good, you have 3 more. Good, we're going to place both hands back onto the mat. We're going to come into our tabletop position. Really important when we start to move from cat to cow that we keep the movement really slow. And I always reference almost like a flow of water through the spine. So really think about trying to articulate through the spine as you move from cat to cow and really start to kind of feel the breath and allow that to kind of guide you. So I'll place the hands just underneath the shoulders and knees underneath, or the knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers nice and wide and have your index fingers pointing towards the front of the room or towards the front of your mat. From here, we're going to start from the base of the spine. You're just going to tilt the pelvis and start to roll all the way up nice and slow. And then slowly reverse, dropping the belly, nice opening through that front body, and look forward. Think of a nice broadness to the chest. Good, 2 more. From here, we're going to slowly come up. Good. We're just going to warm up the wrists a little bit. So you're going to take your fists and you're just going to do some nice big circles. Good, and then we're going to open and close super quick. Almost like you're flicking water. And then we're going to flick some water to the sky. Again, really, really quick just to get some blood flow into the wrists. Good, shake that off. We're gonna make fists again. We're gonna make sure that we're tucking the fingernails in towards the hand so you actually can't see your fingernails. We're gonna bend the elbows. We're gonna take the knuckles together. We're gonna come down to the mat, and then you're gonna work towards straight and get a nice stretch in the backs of the forearms. You're gonna do this a couple times. Some of us might not straighten the arms. That's perfectly fine. We're just looking for a bit of a stretch into those forearms before we start to maybe move through some Sun Salutations. Anyone working at a desk, I always suggest doing some of these wrist warm-ups because we tend to neglect them quite a bit throughout the day. Good, we'll do that 1 more time. Good, and then shake it off. Good, and then we're going to place the palms down on the floor, fingers towards our thighs. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and then start to lean the hips back. And you're going to stop when you just start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the forearms here. Good, and gently release. Good, we're going to place the fingertips now to the side of the room. And then here, I'm going to come a little bit more forward, more of just in a tabletop position, just going to move in small circles. We're going to go one direction again and the other. and slowly pull back. And then we're just gonna warm the shoulders up as well. So let's take the fingertips onto our shoulders, almost like we're holding grapefruits. We're gonna draw our elbows together. You're gonna try to keep the elbows as close together for as long as possible until they'll wanna separate. And then you're gonna open up as wide as possible, all the way back and forward again. So let's do this a couple times in this direction. And then reverse. Good, shake it off. And then we're gonna try to really work on rotation through the shoulders as well. Just again to warm up before we start putting maybe some more body weight. So one, I'm gonna turn this way. Good. And I want you to think about pulling the shoulder blades together, but you're gonna keep the arms shoulder width apart, thumbs pointing up. So we're just gonna draw the shoulder blades together, and then we're gonna try to separate them and pull them away from the spine. So it'll be better like this. So let's set the shoulders. Good, try not to lift lift through the traps just yet. We're gonna keep them set, arms nice and straight. We're gonna pull the shoulder blades apart, and then we're gonna start to draw the shoulder blades together. Good, start to reach forward as far as you can, keep going. Keep everything else in alignment. So keeping the head on top of the spine, good, keeping the shoulders on top of the hips. Good, pull those shoulder blades back together, and then reach apart. Good, I'm gonna do it this way. We're gonna again pull back and reach forward. Two things can also happen. You might use your neck pulling forward, so keeping that stacked, and then also opening and closing the rib cage. So keep the rib cage down as you do these. Good, pull back and forward. And then we're gonna make big rotations. Now you can allow that kind of upward movement through the shoulders towards the ears. Think about making as big of a circle as you can and reverse. Good, and relax. Should be quite a bit of heat there now. So we're gonna come back onto the mat. Let's place our hands down into our tabletop. We're gonna curl the toes under. We're gonna come into our first down dog, but take your time. So slowly sink back, pushing into the hands, pushing into the mat. Maybe sway side to side a little bit. Come a little bit forward. Maybe you're in a floating tabletop, and slowly make your way to down dog, getting the hips up towards the sky. For some of us, we might want to have the knees a little bit bent. To start off, let's slowly shift the hips even further, draw the chest towards your thighs, and I want you to actively press the hands into the floor. And we're going to start to pedal the feet out one by one. Just getting a nice stretch into that back body. You're going to keep the left knee bent. I want you to spread the right toes. And then start to focus on pressing into the big toe ball. Keep drawing the chest towards your thighs and keeping that side body active by pressing the hands into the floor. Good. Focus on pressing into the right baby toe ball. Good. Back to the right big toe ball. And then to the baby toe ball. Good, shift to the other side, right knee bends, pushing into the left heel. Good, focus on pushing into the big toe ball of that left foot. And into the baby toe ball. Right toe ball, I should say left foot, baby or big toe ball. And then a left foot, baby toe ball. Good. Start to shift back and forth. Good. Bend both knees, look forward. Big step to the top of our mat. We're going to toe heel the legs about hip distance apart. And we're going to totally relax the spine, come into ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Really think about relaxing through the neck. So maybe shake your head no and yes. Big breath through that back body. Relax through the hands. Keep the knees really soft, and we're going to slowly start to peel all the way up. Good. Coming into mountain pose. Coming to the top of your mat. Good. Big toes touching. Heels about 1 inch apart. We're going to just place our arms beside us with palms facing out. And just a couple breaths. We're going to take a nice big breath in. Reach the arms overhead. Maybe a soft back bend. Exhale all the way down. So swan dive all the way down, head to knee. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, head to knee. We're going to step back into a full plank. We're going to hold here. I want you to find that strength first. So wrists underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide, and try to press into every part of your knuckle, but especially through the index finger and thumb. Firm the glutes, firm the thighs. Lift the hips 1 inch, but not coming into down dog. Hold the plank here. Keep everything so strong. Keep the back of the neck really long. We're going to drop to our knees. Good, we can flip the feet. I still want you to think about keeping the belly engaged and firm the glutes just a little. We're going to slowly come down. Elbows come right beside the ribcage, but we're going to pause. So belly strong, elbows come right beside you for 3, 2, keep the back of the neck long. 1, hold, press up. Again, let's go for 3, 2, 1, hold, press up. One more time. This time we're going to come all the way down. We're going to count down to 5, or from 5. So we're going to start for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. We're going to set up in Sphinx pose. So let's have just the arms or elbows just underneath the shoulders. Spread the palms nice and wide. You're going to press the tops of the feet into the mat and then start to firm the thighs so that kneecaps actually lift. Feel a bit of bracing too, so firm the belly a little bit so you feel the tips of your hips kind of lift off the mat. That'll give your low back a little bit of space. And then we're going to think about inhaling, reaching the chest up and shoulders back, especially away from the ears. We're going to exhale, draw our right shoulder to right hip, look behind. Okay, we get a nice stretch to that left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left shoulder, left hip. And back to center. 2 more times. We're going to slowly relax. Take the hands right by the shoulders, elbows tight to the body. Peel up onto the knees. Good. Curl the toes under and come into down dog. Nice even breath. Actively press those hands into the floor. Good. From here, we're going to take our right leg lifted up. Bend the right knee and then open the hips, trying to stack them. Let's try to see if we can keep the weight distributed evenly through both hands and really try to open the hips up. Just coming into our hydrant pose. We're going to try to do a little bit more hip warm up here. So think about trying to make as big of a circle and as slow as you can with the knee. So knee draws up towards the sky behind us. Then it comes out to the side. Slowly, you'll feel a lot of your glutes start to get really active here. And then come back to midline. We're gonna swap directions, out to the side. Start to angle that knee up to the sky, coming closer to midline, and then back to center. One more time. And then we get to swap to the other side. Left leg comes up. Bend the knee, open the hips up to the side. Again, trying to stay even in both hands. And then you're going to do those 4 rotations. So 2 in one direction, 2 in the other. Nice and slow. Good, once you finish, so I come back to down dog. Bend both knees, look forward. Big step to the top of your mat. Exhale forward, fold, relax the spine. Inhale, come up halfway. Really staying long as possible here. So even drawing your chest to the front of the room. Keeping the crown of the head nice and long. So reaching it forward. Exhale, head to knee. And inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, inhale. Reach overhead. Exhale, all the way down, head to knee. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, head to knee, step back into a full plank. Again, establish that strength here. Either do what we had done previously, which is onto the knees, or chaturanga here from the feet. Slowly lower and hover. Inhale to Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Use your core, flip the feet, draw the hips up to the sky. Bend the knees, look forward. Take a big step to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, head to knee. And inhale, sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, inhale, sweep up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, head to knee. Place the hands onto your mat, come into full plank. Chaturanga down and hover. Inhale to Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, take the right leg, lift it all the way up. Take a big lunge forward, nice and slow, step in between the hands. Good. We're gonna come onto our fingertips. We're gonna make sure that the legs are about hip distance apart. From here, spread the right toes and really find them grounded into the mat. When you're ready, inhale, lift all the way up into a high lunge. From here, I want you to take your hands across the body. Get really long through the spine. I want you to firm through your left glute. So squeeze that left bum cheek. Keeping that length in the spine, we're going to rotate to the right, which might not look like very much. And back to center. Squeeze through that glute. Even that tilt of the pelvis slightly. Get really long through the spine. And then slowly rotate towards the right. And back to center. Good, one more time. Inhale, get tall. And rotate towards the right side. Back to center. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale, take the hands back down to our mat. Step out into that full plank, either from the knees or feet, slowly lower. Inhale to Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale, Down Dog. Left leg comes up. Big lunge forward. Again, really try to have control as you take that step forward. You can stay on your fingertips, just kind of making sure the legs are about hip distance apart. Spread the toes of that left foot. When you're ready, inhale, come up. Good, making any adjustments. Feeling grounded through the feet. Let's take our hands across the body. We're gonna firm through that right glute this time. Bit of that pelvic tilt. Keep that strength here. Get really tall. You're gonna feel that pull in the hip. Hands across the body. Inhale, length. And then exhale, rotate to the left. Back to center. Almost reset. Strength through that hip. Rotating slightly. Nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. Take a breath here. One more time. Get tall. Find that length through the spine, and then exhale, rotate to the left. Back to center, release the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands back down to our mat. Good, slowly lower. Inhale into Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. And exhale, Down Dog. Nice even breath. Good. From here, we're going to take our right leg, lift it all the way up, and think about trying to be as slow as possible. We're going to take the right leg out to the right side. Try to keep it hovering. You may need blocks on the hands, or you can come onto your fingertips as you slowly start to come out to the side and meet the right hand. Good. Coming into triangle, we're going to start to pivot on the left foot in about a 45-degree angle. Windmill the arms to shoulder height. Good. Shoulders on top of the hips. Good. From here, I want you to think about firming through that outer hip. So finding that strength through the hip, we're going to really think about now starting to straighten the front leg. Reach the arms forward until you feel a slight stretch on that outer hip, and then shift the hands to 12 and 6, coming into triangle. So using blocks is always nice here, so you can always place blocks on the outer edge of that right shin. Either stay here, or if you like, you can continue and take the left fingertips and start to reach them overhead. And then inhale back to center. You're going to do this 2 more times. Then inhale, come all the way up. Windmill the arms back down. Pivot the left toes forward. Come back into your plank. Good. Chaturanga down and hover. Inhale to Sphinx, Cobra, or Up Dog. Exhale, Down Dog. Good. Heading to the left side, left leg comes up. Taking the left leg out to the side. We're going to slowly, I might need to not hit my plants. Take it out to the side to meet the left foot. Good. Pivot that right foot this time, roughly at a 45. Inhale, come up. Stacking the shoulders on top of the hips. Good. We're going to straighten that left leg up this time. Firming through that outer hip, so keeping that strength in the outer hip. We're going to start to reach forward, and you're going to feel maybe a little bit of a pull here. Once you do, a little bit of a stretch, We'll place the hands at 12 and 6. Shoulders stay stacked here. And either keeping the right hand stacked, or you can start to play with reaching overhead. And you'll do that 3 times. Good. By reaching overhead, you're probably going to feel a little bit more of a pull into that outer hip. Inhale, come all the way up. Windmill the arms all the way back down. Step out into that full plank. Shift right into down dog. Push the hips up to the sky. And then slowly we're going to come all the way down and back onto our knees. Swing the legs out from underneath you. Good. So just center yourself into the mat. We're going to place our hands either behind the thighs or out in front. This will be a little bit more challenging. So from here, we're going to roll out again, trying to find that fluidity through the spine. We're going to count down from 10. There's a bit of that tucking of the tailbone. 1 vertebrae comes onto the mat if possible. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, place the legs just about hip distance apart and close to your glutes. We're going to press the low back into the floor. And then from there, start to lift the hips up by pressing into the heels. Continue to think about drawing that tailbone towards the knees. Nice even breath still. Good, roll through the spine. Good, we're going to do that 2 more times. Press the low back into the floor, press into the heels, lift up. And slowly roll out. We have 1 more. Press low back into the floor, press into the heels and lift the hips up. Roll all the way down. We're going to take the legs a little bit wider than our mat. And then from here, we're going to drop our right knee towards midline. You're going to take your arms out a little bit wider with palms facing up and see if you can just kind of sink the shoulders back a little bit further. Good. Take the right knee, open up this time, letting the left thigh come towards midline. Good. Inhale, open up. We're going to place our legs together. Feel free to keep the knees bent, or you can slowly come into Shavasana. We can still keep our arms a little bit wider, and if you are coming into Shavasana, I would suggest just taking the legs so they're not touching, and just kind of give them a shake and really think about relaxing and kind of surrendering your body towards your mat and towards the floor. And we're going to gently close our eyes. I want you to think about that kind of 3-dimensional breath. So breathing into your back body, breathing into the sides of your rib cage, and then feeling your breath in your front body. Think about softening through the brow line and the jaw, and really relaxing the face. slowly I want you to count your inhale and match that of the exhale. So just coming into an equal ratio breath. You can slowly start to come to a natural breath. And then keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to roll over onto your side into fetal position. And then gently start to press up, coming into a seated cross-legged position. Feel free to place something underneath your bum if seated cross-legged isn't comfortable for you. We can just gently place our hands onto the knees. And then we'll take 3 really big breaths together. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Really letting everything go. Inhale here. And last one. And together we'll slowly bring our hands to heart center. And together we can slowly open our eyes. And we end our practice by saying namaste.